down go the pants, bro. Down go the pants. All right, so let me get this off my chest before before I go crazy. All right, so I go with my dad to this collector show, right? Mainly trading cards like football, baseball cards, whatever. Something me and my dad have been into for basically my whole life. He was into it for years, whatever. So we go to this show, right? Like the entrance, there's this lady there. You had to pay to get in, which it was like $5. Not a big deal. This lady set up, obviously, so that people couldn't just walk in. So we go to the table and we're like, "Hey, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day, whatever." And all right, like you can look at me and nobody that didn't know me would ever guess my actual age because I look very young, especially like if I were to stand up right now, you see how skinny I am. Like I know I look younger than I actually am, right? But this pissed me off, okay? So we're paying and my dad hands her $10 and she goes, "Oh, kids get in for free." My dad and I just stand there, kind of stun locked, to be honest, for a second, and I can feel from the depths of my like body just rising the my blood pressure. I'm ready to snap. And she goes, "Anybody 12 and under gets in for free." Okay, as if I didn't already have enough confidence issues, they have gotten significantly worse after that. I get thinking that I look way younger than I actually am, but 12, that really kind of hurt. I'm not gonna lie. And so for the rest of when I mean the whole time my dad and I were at the show, and ever since then, my I just don't want to show my face to anybody, bro. Like it is that hurt bad. I was the opposite. I had facial hair at 13. Bro, I mean, I like I just shaved before stream. I didn't shave like I shaved this morning. I had to shave again. I can grow facial hair. I had a mustache when I was probably 15. That hurt. That really hurt to know that to some people I actually look that young when in reality I am double that. More than double that. Now, like in the grand scheme of things, compared to like my most embarrassing things, that's nothing. Talking about this too just brought back all of the feelings that I had with the most embarrassing things that I've had happen, bro. That's in reality like this wasn't that big of a deal, but I've had some pretty bad things happen. This is okay, my two like most embarrassing stories involve the same thing and they happen probably like I don't know 5 or 6 years apart, and this has been at least 15 years ago. So I've nothing has topped this in all those years. Why? Why am I bringing this up? Okay, so one year after the baseball season was over, right? My coach was like, "Hey, let's get all of the teams together because we were all in the same town. There was probably I think it was like 8 different teams maybe that we had." He was like, "Hey, let's get as many people from all the teams together that want to show up and just have like an end of the year celebration, right?" We set up at the main baseball field and there's probably I don't even know like 150 200 people there, kids that I was playing baseball with, ones that I knew, ones that were on other teams, moms, dads, sisters, whatever. We got like a cookout going, like it's a everybody's having a good time. They break out a slip and slide, right? you get that thing on the outfield of the stadium or of the field. So we're all going crazy, man, like shoving each other out of the way. No, at this point, like there's no rules. That just whoever gets there first is going. At first, it sucked, like it wouldn't slide at all, and then we got it dialed in, and that thing was like it was fast. So I'd probably gone like 3 or 4 times, right? And I'm there with my best buddy at the time. We're like probably six or seven, and we're like checking out all the sisters on the other teams. So I go again. Everything's great, chilling. I get up from the slip and slide and start running back around, running back around to get in line again. And my swimming trunks fell. At this point, the slip and slide was the main attraction of the cookout, right? So like everybody was there at this point. The parents, the grandparents, the siblings. It was like everybody was going, they were watching. Yeah, I went, everything was great. I got up and started running back and the pants fell, and I kid you not, there were parents laughing so hard that they were like on the ground kicking their feet, like actually dying of laughter. I played it off pretty good because I just grabbed them and I got back in line and I just stood there like, hey, y'all got a free show, man. What can I say? Sheer disappointment in your voice. Is it that obvious? It's much more difficult to talk about now than it was then, for sure. But yeah, so so there was that, and then again, like 4 years later, the unthinkable happens. But this one was way worse. This one was way worse. My family used to always take a vacation to Myrtle Beach. It was usually just my mom and dad, and then my grandparents would go like for the entire month. They had a camper so they could go, and they would rent out a spot for like a whole month. So they would usually be down there too, which was really cool. Like some of the best memories I have are of those trips and stuff. But anyway, this is not one of those. As grandmas do, right? My grandparents had been down there for about 3 weeks. Their last week there was the week that we were down there. And so, as grandparents do, or I should say, grandmas do, if you're blessed enough to have them in your life, she bought me a bunch of clothes that I probably never wore. um, just being down there, she's like, "Oh, I gotta get this, whatever." One of well, okay, so she gave me the clothes or whatever. Like as we got down there, I wasn't really concerned about what I wore as a kid. Like I didn't. I just genuinely I didn't really care whether I liked it or not. It wasn't a big deal to me. She did get me a pair of swimming trunks. They were a little bit childish for my age. They were cool. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If I got them now, I'd wear them. They were like they had sharks all over them and stuff. They were pretty freaking cool. But at that age, I was like, okay, these are a little bit childish. So my mom was like, "Hey, they're gonna come over to the hotel and hang out." This hotel that we stayed at had like a water park inside. It had water slides. It had lazy rivers and pools and stuff like that inside. So they would come over every now and then and like chill with my mom and dad while I was at the pool or whatever. So that was what the plan was for the day. And my mom was like, it would really mean a lot to, I'm not gonna say her name, or what I call her, just to avoid doxing anybody, but it would really mean a lot to your grandma if you wore these trunks that she got you. I was like, okay, sure. I would rather deal with it and not disappoint my family. So to make this story even better, I had met I had met this girl that week. We had hung out for pretty much every afternoon and night of that entire week. We genuinely like had a good time. It wasn't necessarily just being attracted to each other or anything. Like we genuinely had a good time. So like we had everything set up one night. Like we hung out one day and she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be coming back to the pool at this time. Do you think you can be here?" And I'm like, "Hey, yeah, I can be there." So like, yeah, it was, we had a good time. Oh no, not the girl. Oh, it's trust me, it's bad. Okay, so things are great. Like having a great time on this specific day. Grandparents show up. Me and this girl, we're swimming around, laughing, having a good time. And so, right in front of where my parents and grandparents had set up for the day at the pool was this little small rectangular pool that had a basketball goal kind of like screwed into the coping of, or I say coping, I don't know what it's called. Coping because I'm a skater. Whatever the top of the pool is. And so like it was short enough where you could dunk or actually like shoot basketball comfortably, like it wasn't like too high, too small, whatever. Usually that was like completely crowded. You could never get in there and actually like get your hands on one of the basketballs or whatever. But this day there was like nobody there. So I was like hanging out with the girl. I was like, "Hey, do you want to go over there and shoot basketball?" She's like, "Yeah, that I've been wanting to do that this whole time." So like we swim over there. Like I said, parents are literally right there, and I'm trying to act like they're not my parents. Trying to be all cool. Oh man, okay. Yeah, about 5 minutes into playing basketball, the girl like went up and dunked, did a dunk on the basketball goal, and she's like, "All right, let's have like a dunk contest." And at that age, it's like, yo, if anybody tells you let's have a dunk contest, you like, okay, let's freaking go. But I noticed early in the day that these new trunks that I was wearing for my grandma were a wee bit too big. And so I was kind of leery of that the whole day, right? So yeah, she says let's have a dunk contest, and I was at first I was like, okay, yeah, totally, let's do it. And then it hit me. I was like, oh, wait a second. This is not a good idea. I don't want to flash anybody, right? Been through that before. So she goes, all right, or she goes, no, no, it'll be fun. Like, let's just have fun, whatever. And I'm like, I just don't like. I don't know if that's really a great idea. And so she basically got behind me and like kind of, I don't even I physically it doesn't make sense, but like I guess because of how water physics work, I was kind of bouncing in the water but not like jumping out of it. And somehow she like got behind me and pushed me towards the goal a little bit, and like because I was bouncing, I kind of lifted up a little bit. Down go the pants, bro. Down go the pants. Right? I mean, like when I'm saying like in her face, it was like there. Parents are right there. Honestly, I couldn't even look at them, so I don't know if they were laughing. I don't know if they were embarrassed. I thought that was it. Like, I was like, there is no way that after this that I will ever speak another word to this girl again. I could not get myself to turn around because I didn't want to see the look on her face. It felt like an eternity went by before she was like acting like nothing ever happened. And from that point on, I was like, all right, this is a real one right here. Nothing changed after that. But of course, that lived in my head every single second that passed by after that. until the last time I saw her when her and her family left going back home. The absolute worst thing that could have happened. And somehow we still hung out after that. And like, we even stayed in touch for a while until we kind of just got older and stuff, life happened and stuff. But that was probably, like I said, that was probably 15 or 16 years ago. Nothing like that has ever happened since, and I hope that that is as bad of a embarrassing story as like I ever have to go through, because that was, there's no words for it. Like, that's something that you dream about that could be the worst possible thing, and it literally became reality.